On the issue of the video, the viral video from the cat situation that occurred on November 2nd, as you all are aware, on November 2nd, after 10 o'clock, we started receiving phone calls and emails concerning an incident of an individual that was abusing a cat. At that time, we sent a supervisor, an officer, and an investigator in an attempt to locate the individual and locate the cat that was supposedly being abused. Officers went to an apartment here in town, and they were unable to make contact with anyone at that apartment. However, they were able to make contact with a suspect, Brandon, over the phone, Brandon White, and his mother. In talking to them, they indicated that the cat was okay, and they indicated that they would not be talking to law enforcement. A few days later, we went back, or the next day, that Tuesday, we went back out to the apartment to attempt to make contact. At that time, we made contact with an adult female who allowed us into the apartment. Investigators, one being an investigator from the University of Alabama. So pretty much from the start of this, we've had two investigators working on this case, one from our department and one from the university. But they went to the apartment and they were allowed in, given a consent to search, and looked around that apartment to see if any of the furnishings or bedding or linen in that apartment resembled what was in the video. None of the items in that apartment matched that description, and so they left. We've still been in contact from time to time with Brandon's mother, but not with Brandon. But the bottom line is being that Brandon was not going to make a statement. He asked for an attorney, and so we respect that right, and that is his right. In the meantime, we've continued to try to work the case and investigate the case. On this past Friday, investigators that were working the case wrote an affidavit for a search warrant. In that affidavit, they were asking for a search warrant for the cat, to check on the well-being of the cat. They were asking for a search warrant for a phone. They were asking for a search warrant to check Brandon for any injuries, and they were asking for a search warrant to search the residence for any type of bedding, furnishing, or items that could have been associated with what we saw in the video. We were unable to get the search warrant signed on Friday. Today, we went over to Sumter County because that's where Brandon and his mother live, and we tried to get a search warrant signed. We weren't able to get that search warrant signed. So investigators left Sumter County, drove down to Linden, Alabama, where they made contact with the circuit judge down there. At 1:30 this afternoon, the circuit judge signed the warrant. So our investigators are currently back en route to the house in Livingston with the hopes of serving that search warrant in that case. Any questions?
Does the fact that Brandon White's mother is a police officer, how much bearing has that had on this case? Because a lot of people believe that's why nothing's happened.
I can stand here right now and tell you, I won't say what I want to say, but I will stand here right now and tell you that has zero bearing on this case. Because I've been the chief of police here, we have arrested people that I have worked with for years that were Tuscaloosa police officers. And so his mother being a police officer had absolutely no bearing on this case.
So as far as the well-being of the cat, do we know exactly where the cat is and what condition it is in right now?
We had a conversation with Brandon's mother, and she told us that she had the cat was fine, and that she was taking the cat to the vet. But we have not been able to verify that. That was the purpose of getting a search warrant, to see if we can come up with the location for the cat and verify the condition of the cat.
Do you know now, if you're able to get these warrants and get evidence, if you would be pursuing the misdemeanor animal cruelty charge or the felony intent to harm charge?
Once we have all of the information, we will present it to the warrant clerk, and the warrant clerk will take what we have and they will make a determination on whether they feel like a misdemeanor warrant should be issued, or a felony warrant should be issued, or if no warrant at all should be issued. So that will be a decision that the warrant clerk will make. Other questions?
Are you considering banning video cameras in Tuscaloosa?
No, I'm actually in favor of video cameras in Tuscaloosa. I think they have a purpose and that they're a great tool. And I think that what we need to do, though, when we get this information out here, it's so easy now for things to go viral with just a click of a button. And we have to understand that when these things happen, we have to have time to investigate them. And we're never going to be able to investigate these cases as quickly as the information can go viral. And so what we always want to do from our perspective is we want to do a fair investigation, because I think any of you, if you were the subject of an investigation, you would not want us to rush to judgment and go out and get warrants on you. And we feel like that in any situation, we have to be fair, we have to take our time, we have to be thorough and do a good job of investigating cases, so that once we take those cases and present them to a magistrate or to a warrant clerk, that we know that we're on solid footing and that we have a good case. And that's what it's all about. So I'm absolutely in favor of cameras. I just want us to understand that when you see an incident and it is recorded, it does not mean that immediately we're gonna have an answer for it, that we're gonna have it resolved for you in a timely manner like you want it. But understand that anytime a situation like this occurs, we are gonna take it seriously, and we're gonna do everything in our power to investigate it to the fullest of our ability and ensure accuracy, fairness, and transparency in doing so. Thank you all, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.